And nobody touched each other.
And why were you concerned?
Because I'm pregnant and this girl's about to beat my. Hello?
Mark here.
Yesterday you had black hair, short hair. Today it's blonde and long. Which one is your real hair? Or are they both real?
They're wigs.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that. It's a good week today then.
You invading my privacy. You're as big. You right in my face, like on my chest.
This week, Cardi B found herself in court, and honestly, it's wild how unserious this whole thing looks at times.
I'm thinking to myself, like, you're as big.
Reporters were literally asking her about her wigs in the middle of a legal battle, like, it's a good wig today, huh? And then, what about yesterday's wig?
Yesterday you had black hair, short hair. Today it's blonde and long. Which one is your real hair? Or are they both real?
They're wigs.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that. It's a good week today then.
Can you imagine being in a courtroom over a lawsuit and people are out here grading your lace front? But let's get into why she's actually in court, because the wigs are just a distraction from the messy situation underneath. A woman named Amani Ellis is suing Cardi B for $25,000, plus claiming emotional distress, punitive damages, and even medical bills. This isn't just petty change. It's a serious accusation. So here's the backstory. We're flashing back to 2018 when Cardi was pregnant with her first child. She went into an OB/GYN office in Beverly Hills for a checkup, just a routine doctor's appointment to make sure everything was good, but that's where things allegedly went left. At this doctor's office, she crossed paths with a security guard named Amani, and that's where the drama began. Now, the lawsuit itself was officially filed in 2020. Amani is claiming that Cardi physically attacked her inside the doctor's office. She says Cardi scratched her face with her fingernails and even spit on her. Yes, spit, in a doctor's office of all places. If true, that's definitely a lawsuit-worthy situation. And the internet has already been eating this story up. One Redditor broke it down saying, for more context, Cardi B was newly pregnant and attending an OB/GYN appointment in 2018. The security guard allegedly spotted her and got excited because it's Cardi B. At that point, she pulled out her phone to snap a picture, and Cardi got upset. She hadn't even announced her pregnancy yet. And we're talking about being in a doctor's office where privacy is supposed to be respected. Things escalated, and next thing you know, it's all violence and spit. And now, years later, here we are in front of a judge. But Cardi is standing her ground in court. She's making it very clear that she's not about to let this security guard run off with a paycheck at her expense. Cardi insists that she never laid a finger on Amani. No scratches, no spit, nothing.
Cases a shakedown for money.
Absolutely.
Cardi, was she recording you without your knowledge?
Yeah. And nobody touched each other.
Cardi, you didn't touch her.
Never.
She says that you scratched her. You didn't scratch her or touch her.
That didn't even put my hands on her.
We're obviously rapping about you don't know how to cook.
Meanwhile, Amani is painting a whole different picture. She says she was just excited when she saw Cardi walk in, pregnant and glowing. According to Amani, she was like, wow, that's Cardi B, and she's pregnant. But that excitement didn't land well. Cardi allegedly got right up in her face, accusing her of pulling out a phone, trying to record, and ready to spill private details from her doctor's appointment. Amani even testified that when Cardi heard her say her name, she snapped instantly. The first thing out of Cardi's mouth, according to Amani, was, "Why the F are you telling people you saw me?" And honestly, let's be real. Cardi had been working hard to keep that first pregnancy under wraps, so it makes sense why she'd be so protective.
And she's like getting closer and closer. Like now she's like in front of me where I can't even like really maneuver. And I'm like, ain't you supposed to be security? Like you grouped out, you're recording me. Now you following me. Like back up. And she's like, I can do what I want. It's like, no, you can. Like, you can't do what you want. And that's when we started arguing.
And what did you say?
I was like, you can't do what you want. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like you invading my privacy, and now we're like chest to chest practically. So I keep telling her like, you need to back up. And I'm thinking to myself like, this girl's big. She's big. She got big black boots on, and I'm like, damn.
But here's where things got messy. We're talking about a doctor's office in Beverly Hills, a place where you'd expect some professionalism, even around celebs.
The hell am I gonna do now? She right in my face, like on my chest, and we're arguing. And I keep telling her to back up, but she's not backing up. And we're arguing, cursing at each other. I did call her the B word. I did call her a bitch. Like, bitch, get out of my face. I did say, bitch, get the fuck out of my face. You're in my face. You're screaming in my face. We're like literally screaming at each other. And she kept telling me like, you gonna leave my building. And I'm like, I'm not leaving. Like, how you harassing me? I'm not leaving. And you telling me, how you telling me to leave? I came to see a doctor. You following me. You're recording me. I'm just trying to check my cat.
Instead, courtroom witnesses say Cardi was literally cracking up on the stand, making comments about Amani's size. People in the courtroom were shocked, like, is she really laughing in the middle of this testimony?
You're recording me. And we're arguing. That's when the receptionist came out. She started wilding out like, this bitch hit me, and I'm like, I did not hit her. I'm like, girl, I can't even hit you if I want to. You're bigger than me and you're pregnant. And she just started wilding out like, this bitch hit me. Then the doctor came out and he's like, go to my office. And after that, I just walk away. That's just that.
Are you aware in the city of Beverly Hills, if a security guard tells you to leave the building, which they are security of, you would be required to do that? Do you agree with that?
Objection, relevance.
A security not supposed to.
Amani's side is that she was completely blindsided. She claims Cardi didn't just snap at her, she used body-shaming language, spit on her, and left her humiliated. According to Amani, Cardi told her straight up, F you, fat ah, I'm gonna beat your ah, I'm gonna get you fired. That's what Amani swears Cardi said. Now, whether Cardi was just speaking in her usual sharp, unfiltered way, or if it really crossed the line into harassment, that's exactly what this lawsuit is trying to figure out. And with Cardi laughing on the stand and Amani breaking down her side of the story, this case is giving drama every single day. That's the crazy part, because according to testimony, Cardi was allegedly sticking out her tongue, flailing her arms, and putting on a whole scene. And honestly, I can picture her doing exactly that. But Amani insists it went way beyond just theatrics. She says things got physical and that Cardi's nail cut her face so bad she needed plastic surgery to fix the scar. That's not just embarrassing, it's permanent. Now let's rewind today one of the trial, because that courtroom was already giving reality TV vibes. Cardi walked in rocking a short wig, sitting next to her lawyer while the details of the alleged attack were read out loud. The way she reacted almost felt like she was hearing the story for the first time, like she was shocked at how far Amani's accusations were going.
50 pounds, wearing black military boots, hovering over Cardi, yelling and screaming at her and taking swings at her, trying to get to her beyond the person who was trying to intervene.
Trial.
Now, I don't take any pleasure in saying this, but there will be evidence that it was plaintiff who yelled, I fuck your shit up. That's when someone intervened and dragged plaintiff to an elevator and said, you have to leave. You have to leave. You will hear Cardi's testimony that she both feared for her unborn baby, this was her first pregnancy, and a very large woman was advancing towards her, accused that a security guard would be her attacker. Importantly, plaintiff has repeatedly changed her story over the last.
And here's where the whole thing takes a turn for the unserious again, because people couldn't stop talking about Cardi's look in court. shoulder pads, short wig, sitting there looking unbothered while her legal team fought it out. It had folks online saying this trial feels more like a parody than a lawsuit. But in court, things weren't just jokes. The size difference between the women was brought up again and again. Cardi's legal team tried to paint Imani as intimidating, while Cardi was positioned as a pregnant woman just trying to protect her baby. One direct quote even described Imani as a very large woman advancing toward a newly pregnant Cardi. And that's the type of language that had a lot of people side-eyeing the whole trial. Because why is body size being thrown around as evidence? Big is beautiful, and a person's size doesn't automatically make them dangerous. Still, Cardi's lawyers are pros, and they're using every angle possible to poke holes in Imani's testimony. One major issue is that Imani's story keeps shifting, different versions of events being told at different times, and that makes her look less credible. Add Cardi's star power and high-profile legal team, and you can see how the court starts tilting in her favor. But at the same time, if Imani really did walk away with scars, trauma, and medical bills, then this isn't just some cash grab. It's a legit claim. She swears she was traumatized by Cardi. And let's be real, not many people would want to square up with her. Cardi might be funny and flashy, but she's also fiery, and that energy could definitely be overwhelming in person.
You will hear evidence that, under oath, she stated in what is called discovery, Cardi beat her about the head and body. Under oath, she said that. You will hear evidence that plaintiff stated, Cardi scratched plaintiff's nose. You will hear evidence that the story then changed, that Cardi instead scratched plaintiff's cheek, and you will hear evidence that plaintiff also said Cardi never touched her. That is the evidence that you will hear. And to put it mildly, we expect you will the evidence will establish that plaintiff is not telling the truth. Now, there's been this allegation that that Cardi got plaintiff fired. But do we expect...
Objection, Your Honor. We discussed this issue.
Sustained claims from electronic.
I apologize.
And the internet commentary? Wild as always. Fans are already cracking jokes, with one person dragging the case by quoting lyrics off Cardi's new album while reacting to the testimony. Imagine going through a lawsuit and the public is out here turning it into memes. That's the circus vibe this trial has turned into. Am I the drama, or is it Cardi? Because let's be honest, her courtroom wigs have become a whole separate storyline. Every day she shows up switching the look, and people can't help but laugh like she's treating this trial as her personal runway. One day it's sleek, the next it's a short bob. She's in there acting like the jurors are fashion critics. Someone online even joked that Edgar bowl cut is sending me. And honestly, it really does feel like Cardi is watching this trial like it's the premiere of a Netflix drama instead of a case where she's the one being accused. But enough about Cardi's wigs. We've been dragging them all video. Let's turn to Imani, the security guard at the center of this lawsuit.
Did Miss Cardi B, after this incident, post different things about you to her fans?
She did.
And how many different instances?
Probably about 2.
And did you do the same thing back to her?
Never.
Do you still want to become a police officer?
No.
And why is that?
I was deeply traumatized about what happened.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your trauma that you suffered from this incident?
Yes. I deal with anxiety, deal with depression. I have post-traumatic stress. I have a scar on my face. I deal with insomnia.
Here's where the case gets tricky. She's someone whose whole job is to protect people and handle stressful situations. Yet she claims this incident with Cardi left her traumatized and scarred for life. Some people online have questioned how a trained security guard could be shaken up like that. One comment even read, if she deals with anxiety, depression, etc., why is she a security guard?
Aside from calling you the N-word, spitting at you, taking a swing at you, cutting your face with her fingernails, is there anything else that she did on February 24, 2018 to you?
I mean, the whole incident was super traumatizing for me. She did a lot that day.
Did she ever apologize for what she did?
Never.
Did you want her to apologize?
Of course.
Harsh, but it shows how divided people are about whether this lawsuit is a genuine cry for justice or just a bag chase. And the internet's not letting up on the little details either. Amani showed up in what looked like a referee-style striped shirt. And of course, people started clowning. Someone wrote, "Not her trying to get that bag in a referee outfit." The trolling online has been relentless, but at the heart of it all, the trial is about one main thing: her injuries.
The middle finger being longest, it grips the skin first, so it's the highest. The central scar is the highest. And the fact that they're parallel is highly suggestive of a fingernail injury.
Is that to a degree of medical certainty?
Yes.
And what does it mean for the jury, if you could explain, what does medical certainty mean when an expert makes that type of
51% or more. It's the most likely explanation. There are other explanations, but this is the most likely explanation.
And in order to formulate your opinion, you reviewed medical records, correct?
Well, I did. That wasn't as important as the...
No, of course, I was going to go through a laundry list of what we did, but why don't you just tell me, what did you do to formulate your expert opinion?
The number one thing I did was examine the patient. There's the main scar here, and this entire...
Now this is where the controversy really kicks in. In court, Amani presented the scar she says came from Cardi's fingernail. But when photos were shown, a lot of people were underwhelmed. I mean, the internet started zooming in and comparing it to acne scars, with comments like, "I've had pimples leave worse marks than that."
Shows differences in the skin, sort of a general from the rest of the skin. And there's a little linear mark here, and there's another one over here. So those are the three marks that I was talking about. This is the main scar down the center, and this is another mark to the side, and here's another mark on this side. So those are the same. So it has a little bit different, the pores are a different size, and they're a little washed out and a little, they've lost some of the normal undulations of skin, which are called reed pegs. But
that doesn't mean it wasn't painful for her, but people online are questioning if the evidence matches the claims of major trauma. And when you're suing a superstar like Cardi B, every little detail gets picked apart. From wigs to scars, nothing goes unnoticed. The jury might see a faint white mark, while Amani sees a daily reminder of what she says happened. Either way, the visuals in this case are making people talk just as much as the actual testimony. Like, do we all see the same thing here, or am I missing something? Because when that scar photo came up, I swear I've had breakouts that left bigger marks on my face. But here's where it gets even crazier. Cardi B finally hit the stand, and the questions they were asking her were so ridiculous. It almost turned the trial into a comedy show.
Yesterday you had black hair, short hair. Today is blonde and long. Which one is your real hair? Or are they both real?
They're wigs.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know that. It's a good week today then.
I mean, picture this. Cardi sitting there in her little bowl-cut wig, looking flawless, and the lawyers are out here asking about her wigs like they're auditioning for Project Runway. One even went, "It's a good wig today, huh?" Like, is she on trial for assault, or is she on trial for being beautiful? The way they were focusing on her nails and hair had people online crying, laughing.
Do you have any affiliation at this time with a gang?
Objection, Your Honor. Social limit that violates social limit. The order.
Hey, you can't leave me back.
Your fingernails, can you show them to us for all of us to see? How long are those fingernails? Just your best estimate. I want you to take a ruler to it, but if you were to give your estimate, is that half an inch, 1 inch, 2
I
inch?
think it has to be less than an inch.
Okay.
Way less than an inch.
Sure, the nails matter because of the alleged scratch, but the way they dragged it out made it sound like a fashion Q&A, not a courtroom testimony. People on social media immediately turned the whole thing into memes. Someone joked, "Are they the fashion police or lawyers?" Another person quoted, "Relevance, Your Honor," because seriously, what does asking about wigs have to do with a $25,000 lawsuit?
Can you show them to us again? All right. Are they pointy?
These are not, to me, are not pointy. They're like circle, oval.
Okay. Are those your real nails or are they fake nails?
Fake nails.
If I wanted you to change them to 3-inch nails, how long would it take for you to do that right now?
Well, it really depends. Like these are like glued on, so they will be a little bit quicker. Sometimes I do acrylic, which can last me on for 2 weeks. I will literally have to take like 2 hours to melt them off.
Someone else even cracked, "Is Cardi on trial for being a baddie?" The internet was eating it up like popcorn. But beneath the comedy, there's still the legal mess to sort out. Some folks are saying Imani could be in the wrong herself, pointing out possible HIPAA violations. But here's the thing. HIPAA covers doctors and nurses, not security guards. So while Imani may have crossed a boundary by allegedly pulling out her phone at a medical appointment, it doesn't technically fall under HIPAA laws. Still, the privacy invasion is real. And that's exactly what sparked Cardi's alleged reaction. And that's what makes this whole case tricky. It's not just about a scratch or spit, it's about how celebrities are constantly under pressure, even in private medical spaces. Cardi has already been through the Tasha K situation, where she had to fight back in court, and this feels like another chapter of her saying, "You're not about to make money off my name." At the end of the day, $25,000 might not sound like much for someone like Cardi, but it's the principle. If she really didn't do what Imani is claiming, then she's proving a point by showing up in court instead of just settling and walking away. And honestly, seeing Cardi laugh off these wild questions and keep her energy strong, it's giving fighter energy. And that's why this trial has turned into a full-blown spectacle. What's wild is that the longer this trial drags on, the more it feels like a reality show instead of a courtroom battle. The lawyers aren't just throwing questions, they're throwing shade. And Cardi, instead of looking stressed, is cracking jokes, smiling, and treating this like it's just another performance. People sitting in court have even said she reacts to testimony like she's watching a drama series, raising her eyebrows, whispering to her lawyer, and laughing at the most awkward moments. But here's the real tension. Imani is standing firm on her story. She claims the attack left her scarred, physically and emotionally. According to her, this wasn't just a small altercation. It was a moment that shattered her sense of safety and left her anxious even years later. Her side argues that when you're a celebrity with power, you can't just lash out and think people won't hold you accountable. And that's exactly what she wants the court to decide. On the flip side, Cardi's defense is hammering down on inconsistencies in Imani's testimony. They keep pointing out how her version of events has shifted over time. And every time she changes a detail, it makes her look less believable. Cardi's lawyers are spinning it like this is less about trauma and more about money. One legal expert even chimed in online saying, "If this was such a traumatic incident, the details wouldn't keep changing." And the fans, they're split right down the middle. Some say Imani is just trying to cash out on Cardi's fame, while others argue that celebrities shouldn't get a free pass just because they're famous. The scar, the spit allegation, the body-shaming comments, all of it is fueling debates across Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit. At this point, it's not just about $25,000, it's about credibility, image, and who the jury believes more. Cardi wants to walk away showing she's untouchable, while Imani wants to prove that even stars can be held accountable. Either way, the circus in that courtroom is giving the internet enough content to keep this drama alive long after the trial ends. This trial has turned into one of the messiest celebrity court cases we've seen in a while. Between the wig commentary, the wild testimonies, and the back and forth between Cardi's team and Imani's claims, it's honestly been hard to take it seriously at times. The internet is eating it up, turning every moment into a meme, while both women are fighting to prove their side is the truth. For Cardi, this isn't just about $25,000. It's about her name, her image, and her reputation. She doesn't want anyone thinking they can drag her into court, make up a story, and walk away with a payday. For Imani, though, this is about standing her ground. She's telling the world she was scarred, humiliated, and traumatized by an encounter with one of the biggest rappers alive, and she wants justice. What's wild is how divided people are about it. Some are saying Imani is just trying to cash out because the evidence isn't strong enough, while others feel like Cardi should be held accountable no matter what. And then you have the jury, who has to sit through all the laughter, the wig discussions, the scar photos, and somehow figure out what's real and what's exaggerated. It's chaos, but it's the kind of chaos people can't stop watching. But what do you guys think of this court hearing? I think it's so ridiculous. I want to hear what you all think, and let me know if you've been seeing the clips go viral. If you guys want me to do an update on what happens at the end, let me know. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. And make sure to check out the next video you see on your screen for even more celebrity drama.